Your life as a doctor at every level. Level 1, the medical student. You are 22 years old and $40,000 in debt before you've seen your first patient. You chose medicine because your grandmother got sick and nobody explained anything to her. The doctors talked over her head in language designed to exclude. You were 14 and you swore you'd be different. Medical school costs $65,000 a year. By graduation, you owe $280,000. You don't think about that number too hard, because if you do, you'll stop moving. You study 14 hours a day. You lose a relationship because you're never present. You learn what the human body is made of and how completely it can fail. Third year, you finally touch patients. Real ones, scared ones. You hold an elderly man's hand while he cries because nobody else will. You stay 20 minutes past your shift because the conversation matters. Your attending notices. He tells you medicine isn't social work. He tells you the system rewards throughput, not sentiment. You write it off as cynicism. You're going to be different. Level 2, the resident. Residency is legal hazing dressed as education. You work 80 hours a week for $58,000 a year. That's $14 an hour. Your loans are accruing interest while you sleep. You make life and death decisions running on 4 hours of sleep. You make your first serious mistake in month 7, a medication dosage. The patient survives. Your supervising physician explains that mistakes happen. He says it with the efficiency of someone who has said it many times. He doesn't ask how you're feeling. You learn that how you bill matters more than what you do. A 15-minute visit billed as complex nets $180. A 7-minute visit billed as complex also nets $180. A pharmaceutical rep visits the department. She brings lunch. Good lunch. She has studies, data, a warm smile. The drug costs $400 a month. There's a cheaper generic that does nearly the same thing. She doesn't mention the generic. You eat the lunch. You take the pen she offers. It has the drug's name on it. You start prescribing it. Not often. Just when it seems appropriate. Level 3, the attending. You're 34. You survived residency. You're making $220,000 a year. It sounds like freedom. It isn't. You need to see 25 patients a day. That's 11 minutes of actual human contact per person. You learn to make patients feel heard in 4 minutes without actually hearing them. This is a skill. You're good at it. The pharmaceutical reps are more serious now. They invite you to medical education conferences in Miami. You fly out. You attend 4 hours of seminars that happen to feature their products. The remaining time is yours. You come home believing things you didn't believe before you got on the plane. A patient comes in on Medicaid. She has diabetes. She tells you she's been rationing her insulin, cutting doses in half to make it last. You know this is dangerous. You tell her you'll look into alternatives. You don't change the prescription that day because you have 4 patients waiting and you'll fix it next visit. She doesn't come back for a next visit. You don't follow up. Level 4, the specialist. You did a fellowship. You're a cardiologist now. The salary is $480,000. The procedures pay more than the thinking. A consultation nets $200. A stent placement nets $8,000. The incentive is not subtle. Some procedures are necessary. Some exist in a gray zone where clinical judgment and financial incentive point in the same direction. You choose not to separate them. A device company invites you to consult. $2,000 a day to advise on their new cardiac stent. You attend 6 advisory meetings a year. The consulting makes you believe in the product more. This is not a coincidence you examine. You publish research. The studies are funded by the companies whose products you study. You disclose this in footnotes that nobody reads. The research confirms what the funders hoped. You didn't manipulate anything. You just designed the study to ask the right questions. Level 5, the institution. You're 52. You're chief of cardiology. You don't see patients anymore. The device companies court you with legacy now. Named fellowships. Your name on a research center. These things matter to you more than you expect. A hospital system approaches about a merger. The acquiring system has different values. Shorter stays. Higher volume. More aggressive billing. You know what merging means for your patients. You negotiate. You protect what you can. You sign the documents. 6 months after the merger, a billing audit reveals systematic upcoding across the cardiology department. Not your doing, but your department. On your watch. The hospital settles with the government for $40 million. No individual accountability. Everyone regrets it. Nobody resigns. You give a speech at the department meeting about integrity and patient-centered care. You mean every word. You've always meant every word. That's what makes it so clean. Level 6, the system. You retire at 62 with 4.2 million in a retirement account. You join hospital boards. You give a TED talk about the future of patient-centered medicine. It gets 800,000 views. The comments say you're inspiring. You believe you did more good than harm. You probably did. That calculation is real, and it matters, and it also misses the point entirely. You think about the woman who rationed her insulin. Not often, but sometimes at 3 a.m. when the house is quiet. You don't know what happened to her. You tell yourself the system failed her, not you specifically. The system did fail her. You were also the system. A young medical student emails you asking for mentorship. She wants to make healthcare more equitable. She reminds you of someone. You write back a warm, encouraging response. You tell her to stay true to her values. You believe everything you write. You also know exactly what the system will ask of her. The loans, the hours, the reps with the lunches, the conferences in nice hotels, the 10,000 small decisions that each make complete sense. Somewhere tonight, a pharmaceutical rep is taking her department out to dinner. The restaurant is nicer than she's used to. Nobody is asking for anything specific. Not yet. Just building a relationship. You know exactly how this ends. The system doesn't need villains. It just needs doctors who are very good at their jobs.